Good evening, my name is Kenaan Jamal. My UCI student ID is 82481005, and I would like to speak to you about our activity on week 6. I have a script right here to help me out. And yeah, so I wanted to speak on our activity on week 6 regarding the blast site and the understanding of the whole metabarcoding subject with the sequencing. Now, this was one of the activities I loved the most, but that's why I want to talk about it to improve on the activity for future classes. So I had 2 points of contention for that activity. Firstly, the quiz and associated video that was due before the time that the lab would take session. I think that video alone was not enough to suffice for the upcoming lab activity, but we'll get into that part later. However, for the current stuff already in the video, I believe the amplification of specific metabarcodes for different categories of organisms, such as S12 for vertebrates and CO1 for metazoans, was rushed over very quickly. I might be biased because I really like understanding what I'm learning about. And I do outside research if I find it interesting. In this case, though, they mentioned metabarcodes such as S12 and CO1 and didn't talk about them at all besides how they were used for different organisms. There was not much explanation on what made those segments special besides them being variable, why certain categories of organisms had similar variable metabarcodes in the first place, whether it was due to natural selection through evolution of it being advantageous, or if it simply evolved, it was simply the case from when these organisms started evolving by happenstance. I think it would have been very helpful to have some explanation when it came to that and to assess the differences between them. Now we come to the in-class activity, which was not too big of a deal, but I thought I should mention. The slides had a section that linked to a document, but mentioned that wasn't necessary, as everything would be provided on the following slides, which was the case. However, on a laptop in the middle of a busy lab with small pictures, it was very hard to even notice, let alone understand certain terms and metrics mentioned, and specific ones that come to mind are alignment differences and the e-value. The reason I mention this are the other ones were intuitive, such as percentage identity, blast score. You could probably figure those out. But our team took a bit of time finding where these values, the E value and alignment differences, were explained on the site, which we didn't have much luck, or on the Google Slides, which was eventually found, but was very small to read and was brushed over before. So we went to the linked document to find them. It's not too big a deal, but again, I believe that these metrics are very interesting to know and that they should be provided in a video before the lab, or should be briefly explained at the beginning of the lab before the pods work through the assignments. I know this is a lot, but I did love the assignment, which is why I did tackle the things I personally saw as flaws, but they're not too big of a deal. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.